Hello, my dear English learners. On this bright day, I'm so excited to welcome you all for my channel, Priya's English World. Today in this video, we are going to discuss about another important aspect or the topic that every English learner should follow in their English journey. What is that? It's not comes under a specific topic, that it comes under habit that you have to incorporate the habit in your English routine. Unless and until you start doing it, how can you see the result? How can you reap the good result that you sow in the soil? Which means the seed is your English fluency. If you want to reap the English fluency, you have to seed it, but you have to water it. The water is denoting think in English. So today in this video, we are going to discuss about the beautiful topic as well as mandatory topic, which is how to think in English. So before moving to this topic, I would like to ask the same question to you, how to think in English. Do you know the answer? If you haven't know the answer, you don't worry, because every English learners want to start to think in English. Then only they are going to stop translating English into their mother tongue. Most of the people are following translation method. So that's why their progress is stopping because of the translation method. So today in this video, we are going to see about the beautiful topic, which is obviously solution for that one problem, which is the translation method, which is all about how to think in English. So now I'm going to share few steps that I've been following in my English journey, and I followed when I was a beginner at that moment. What I did at that moment when I was a beginner to start to think in English. Okay, let's see first what I did. First, I started to surround myself with English. So, I also recommend the same tips to you. Surround yourself with English. Surround yourself with English means you have to read, write, listen, speak, and make conversation, gain vocabulary, whatever it is. Watch English movies or read anything, listening songs, and it comes under your environment. You have to surround yourself with English. So, this also called immerse yourself in English, immersion of English language. Actually, I've already uploaded a separate video on this topic, how to immerse yourself in English. So if you haven't watched that video, I'll give the video link in the description. You can watch it. You will get clear vision on the particular topic. So now let's move on to the next point, which is all about speak out loud. Describe your environment, various situation. Yeah, once you surround yourself in English, you started to consume lot of content, right? You are giving input. After the input, what you have to process? You have to process the output. Output is nothing but speak out. Speak out loud. That is really crucial that every English learner should follow. Speak out loud. Especially you can describe about your environment. What are the things you see? And let's move on to the next one, which is use images. Connect English words to that. Yeah, this is one of the best method that I've followed, because when we were a beginner, what we usually do, we used to translate to our native language, then only we speak up in English. So first we have to stop translating into our native language. For that, you have to connect words with images. If you are learning any new words, stop translating that words into your mother tongue. Instead of that, just connect with that word regarding their images. It will be beneficial for you to stop translating in your native language. And next step, what I followed, let's see, which is all about think in English during everyday activities. It is necessary. You have to think in English. Actually, the topic that we are discussing right now is also think in English. So, I have already told you to follow these kind of procedures to start to think in English. Once you start, then you have to think in English. You must think in English. What is that? It comes under your everyday activities. If you are doing something every day, right, at that moment you try to describe that in English into your mind, into yourself. It will be very useful for your thinking process. It's going to process your mind to think in English. So it's also going to register in your subconscious mind. So that's the thing, you must think in English. Next one, practice thinking in English during quiet moments. Actually, this is the method which I followed several times. Frequently, I used to follow this method, which is all about in a day, if we find any quiet moments where we do not have any works, no disturbance, at that moment, what you have to do, you have to start to think in English, start to describe something in English, talk to yourself in English, because at that moment you do not have any disturbance, distraction, or any interruption. So at that moment you can utilize these kind of things and incorporate thinking process in English. It will be useful for you to improve your English fluency. And next one is use context clue. What is mean by context clues? For example, if you are reading something, if you come across any new word, at that moment you do not understand the meaning, right? So at that moment you don't worry, don't become nervous or frustration. Instead of that, you have to focus on the context. Even though you do not know the particular word meaning, but you can relate that word into the context and try to understand the meaning of the sentence. Okay, that is one of the best method you have to follow. Instead of focusing on particular word without knowing the meaning, just focus on the context and try to understand the core meaning of a sentence. So this is also one of the best method that you have to implement in your English journey. And then what I did, and I started to maintain a journal is literally important. Every video I just inculcating you to start journaling part. Actually, journal, I just started to make a journal on the topic called gratitude journal. I started to express my gratitude, whatever the things I have in my life at that present moment. So I started to count my blessings and started to write it down, what are the blessings, and convey my gratitude through my writing journal. So that is the one thing I've started to do. That I'm just recommending you to maintain journal for your daily purpose. It's based on anything, but you have to write it down, your thoughts, to get clear vision about your life. And then what I did, I just engage myself in conversation. Of course, once we started to think in English, what we have to do, we have to speak up. So that's why we are started within ourselves. First we started to think in English, and we started to speak to ourselves in English, started to describe the things in English, and we started to journaling also. After that, what you have to do, you have to engage with your friends or engage the conversation in order to expand your communication skills. The communication skill, if you want to master it, definitely you have to engage yourself in a conversation with your friends or online platform or AI, ChatGPT, whatever it is, but you must do it. Engage yourself in a conversation, because unless and until you do this, you can't see the confident English fluency. Everything is based on this one thing, which is conversation, speaking practice. And last but not the least, be patient and persistent, because your brain needs time to adapt. English is a new language that you are learning, that you started to learn. So if you want to see the result, if you want to see the progress, it needs some amount of time. Your brain needs time, especially to adapt it. Once you started to input the process, then it's going to on the processing in your subconscious mind, then the subconscious mind will reply to you on the way while you are speaking. So that is the small way process and slow process of your English journey. So you have to maintain the consistency, persistent, patience is really important, guys. You must have to incorporate this one thing, which is the core principle, passions. So these are the things, the important things that I follow to start to think in English. That's why I recommending these methods to you. You can incorporate this method and utilize it. In case if you find it will be interesting for you, just follow it. In case if you do not find interesting part this method, just ignore it. Start doing what you like the most. Okay, don't follow others words also blindly. Just incorporate it, analyze it, whether it is useful for you or not, then you can decide. I'm not forcing you. So that's it all about this video, guys. Start thinking English. You must start to think in English, then only you are going to see the progress. So I'll come up with another interesting video very soon. Till then, you take care. Thank you so much for your valuable time. Bye bye.